Hey, 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 hey. How are we all? Welcome to Sunday Fan Cabs with me, your host for this week, Pom in Oz. Hope we're all doing really well today. I really do. I want this show to be less a depression session and more a happy session with me. Do you know what I mean? I want you to think not a morgue. I want to see more of a celebration of what was. So this fan cam is brought to you by Northern Tiles Distributors, all the way in Thomastown for all your indoor, outdoor, hybrid and engineered flooring tiling needs. Go and see the great Payne family, Angelo and Matthew, who will look after you. Great blue baggers with over 35 years of experience. Sinking. 35 years. Do you know what I mean? Shit the bed. Hey, they're older than me. No, they're not. They're younger than me. I'm older than them by 3 years. But welcome, everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're all pleasant. So what I'll do is I'll drop the link in the old comments bar. I am Terry. I have the power. Dun, 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 dun. So he should be in there. So if you want to come in and say hello to me, that would be grouse. Hey, so I'm just not sat here just rambling for an hour and a bit. We do have to cut this off at 8 at the latest because the amazing Almost Blues Brothers will be following me. So I am the warm-up act. Imagine that, having Elton John as the warm-up act. Hey, it's not bad. Danny Azar, good day to you, mate. I have been blasting the blues. I'm blasting the blues anthem all day in the car. People have been saying good job, an amazing season. So proud of the boys for me. Love you, mate. I love you too, mate. Hey, I love you too. Say that with all sincerity. I've got Bryden. Good day. How are you doing? And I've got the gorgeous Helen Degani, the giver of life to our great Terry. Good day to you. I love you too. Thank you very much. Right. So up first, we've got two people that I suspect. Well, one's not new, but we'll go with the new one first because I'm not too sure how to do an introduction with this guy. But this guy has got an absolute fucking grouse name. I'm telling you, it's a good name. Big Daddy, how you doing, mate?
Hey, mate, how are you?
Hey, mate, can't complain. How are you?
Mate, just a roller coaster of emotions since yesterday. I was on such a high after 5 fucking goals, mate. I actually came in this country like 11 years ago. And the last time I actually went for the baggies is because one of my best mates that I was living at the time on campus at Latrobe Uni, he was a big Carlton fan. So that's how I got into the game. And that was the last season that we made the finals playing Richmond. And that's my memory and when I started supporting the club. And then I was an employee at Icon. Icon Services, the main sponsor. So the entire family was bonkers about them. But long story short, mate, it's just been an amazing ride. Just watching you guys, Blue Abroad, yourself, Baggage Chat. It's just been such an amazing season, just a turnaround of sorts, and just be meeting people. So many Carlton fans who are so humble. Like you meet them, they're so humble. And even just yesterday, just during that high, I was actually in my full gear, in my jersey and my scarf, and everywhere I went, when I was going on my way to the Icon Park, people were like, "Go the Baggers," and just an amazing season, mate. Nothing like I've ever experienced before being a Carlton fan, but I'm so proud of the boys. It's been amazing. Cripsy has been amazing. The turnaround after round 13. I would say, Pom, it's to be very honest with you. It's coming from the bottom of my heart. It's not that we would say, okay, we came from round 13 to from 15th position to prelims. We fucking deserved it, mate. We deserved it. It's not that we just made that jump and that's going to define us and that's our ceiling. No fucking way, bro. We are there to compete with the best. We are there to outlast Collingwood. We are there to beat the boring Geelong, how good they've been so for all this season and stuff. Yes, they have a shitty season this year. Sydney Swans, we are there to rule, mate. We have got a right squad. We've got the right club. We've got the right coach. We just got to back them, mate. That's all.
Mate, I think you've nailed it. I mean, we've got the list now. We've seen something that's tangible. We can hold it. We're one of the top 4 sides in the country, which I remember doing the preview saying I was judging these boys top 4. That's how I'm judging them. That's where we need to be, because when you're in the top 4, magical things can happen. Like last night, it didn't go our way. But when you are one of the top 4 clubs, you get to play off to go into the final. And mate, I love your story, Daddy. Daddy, tell me, you've come to this country like myself, haven't got a clue what football is. You've fallen in love with it. Who is the guy that you call? I love asking this question. We've all got that Carlton mate that when it's bad, we call them. When it's good, they're the first to call. Have you got that Carlton mate that you get on the phone to and you have a good natter about the football club?
Mate, it's one of the co-owners at Icon. My boss, she's the one I call. Her name's Laura. So after every game, they're Icon, they're the main sponsors. So they are at the game every day. I would say every week they're there. So every time there's like a bright emotion, especially after round 13, the wins that we've had, like right on. Like she's my boss, but we literally are like little kids when we're talking to each other, just cheering those wins. And my partner, she's a big Bombers fan, riding that bandwagon. And I've actually put it in the vow. I was like, mate, you're getting married at the end of this year. I was like, one of the part of my vows is going to be that you have to be a Carlton fan. So I'm gonna write it down in the vow so that that happens. But mate, it's you nailed it, Pom. Like 11 years ago when I came into this country, have no idea what footy was. Everyone was to be honest, in my humble opinion, I thought the MCG is what it was. It's a cricket ground. And when I saw people are more crazy about the footy and stuff, it just got me bonkers. I was like, that does not make fucking sense. But now it does. It does, mate. I'm actually a big Premier League, La Liga fan. I'm a Barcelona fan, big Messi fan. I've been watching Manchester City because of Pep Guardiola, the things that he's done, ex-Barca coach. So that's where my football heritage comes from, like watching football since I was 15 years old. Now I'm 30, but it's been an amazing ride, mate. And to be honest, the content that you guys have created, the content that you guys have been pushing out, it's been amazing, mate. It's literally, if I can't have enough mates who are Carlton fans, because every douchebag fucking goes for Collingwood in the city. But to be honest, it's just watching you guys and watching you do the fan cams, watching you do the reviews on your channel, on this channel. It's just been like even though I haven't spoken to you, this is the first time I'm speaking to you. It's a pleasure, mate. It's like I've known you for so long, but I'm speaking to you in person. Just the bond that we've all created, even getting that guy Callum onto the game, just getting all the money in and getting him to the game. Amazing stories. I don't think, and I may be biased, and fair enough, on point that we are biased, but at the same time, it's a beautiful community. And I feel like Sammy Walsh has fucking had, it's amazing what that guy easily wins the trophy, Norman Trophy. He deserves the best player in finals, hands down. What he's done for us, even in that Melbourne game, he single-handedly won us the game, mate. What do you reckon?
Oh, mate, you can't be great unless you do it when it counts, I don't think. And he has done it in finals. Do you know what I mean? He has shown how good he is. And I agree with you. I think he's been our best player, probably the best player of the final series. He is at the moment, statistically. Let's hope he wins that Gary Ayres medal, because that'll be a great story. But he has been sensational. He has stepped up when it counts, and that's what the great players do.
Mate, I feel like Harry Mackay, obviously, as you said, has been a scapegoat of sorts. Yes, he was down in confidence, but I'll keep it very short, and I know you have a lot of people waiting in the queue, but all I want to say is we've got an amazing team, amazing lineup, and I would say the list that we have with a couple of more acquisitions just to actually beef up our squad, because at the end of the day, you can see Doherty and Blake Akers, they were carrying a niggle. Yes, it's not an excuse. Yes, we should have won the game. No excuses, but you need to have that kind of a list to actually beef up that squad and go again. And I feel like this is going to define our season. We couldn't finish last day, just lost it in the last game against fucking Collingwood. Hate them. But and I hope they lose. Brisbane Lions, please do a favor and get one of those fuckers. I hate them. But long story short, mate, couldn't make the final 8. Did it this season, went to prelims, and we're gonna win better it and win the grand final next season, mate. I'm in very good positive hopes, and we're gonna nail it.
Danny, I think you've nailed it, mate, and I'm honoured to finally meet you, mate. I'm glad that you've come on the show, mate. Enjoy safe marriage. Good luck on marriage. It's the best thing you ever do. Make sure your firstborn's a blue bagger as well. Make sure you sneak that into the vows as well. But Danny, much love, mate. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, buddy. and
Cheers, mate.
up the baggers.
Go the baggers. Cheers, mate. Right. That was quality. We've got... Hey, look. Hey, I'm not the only foreigner who fell in love with the football club. So up next, we've got a guy who is actually a friend of mine, right? A friend of mine. Probably has the best nickname in the world. He flew up this week with his beautiful partner. He's a legend. He's an icon. I can't wait to chat to him. Razor! How you doing, my son?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, I'm still here. I'll fly out tomorrow, and it was a great first time in the Gabba. And the first quarter, I thought that it was amazing if we kept at it, and we would actually come home with the win. But it was actually I just even when the siren finished and we knew we lost, I still stayed there just till the boys got off the ground, and just hearing the Blue supporters just cheering them off, and you just see Patrick Cripps and the boys just enjoying just the moment, just walking off, hearing from the Blue supporters. It was just it's just good atmosphere. It's just a good day too,
mate. Your first time in the Gabba, what was the noise like? Did the Carlton fans drown out them Brisbane fans?
Oh, it was good. Even when we first got there, Hipwood and Danielle, they were just like practicing goals, and they were just missing. And then you just hear all the Carlton supporters just giving it back to them. And then, it was just really good. It's just a great, good. The Blue supporters, and we just try to override them. But the game was really good. But it was just sad that we just lost. But it's me and my missus is pretty happy that we made the trip, and always next year.
Mate, how do you feel we're sat for next year? Do you feel a lot more confident going into next year than you did last year? Do you feel like these boys now can take that next step?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got the list. Like I even seen Hollands, just like he runs the whole ground. Like he's like a Sammy Walsh pretty much, but once he puts on a bit of beef, I think he's just going to be pretty much just like Sam Walsh. And it's I reckon we'll be top 4 for sure. I reckon.
I love it, mate. I love it. And you mentioned Sam Walsh. Sam Walsh again in a final, playing with his own ball for most of the time. How good was it to see Sam Walsh really stand up for the football club? He's been sensational this final series.
Yeah, absolutely. And even when Doherty kicked that goal too, just the blue supporters, I just love even getting around him when he kicks a goal and that, and what he's been through. He's just even just when he kicked it, I was just like, that's just so good. Just the feeling, you can just feel and that's good for Sam Doherty as well.
Yeah. Oh, mate, our fans are mental. Our fans are mental. Like the noise from here in Victoria, you could hear it through the TV. It felt like it was at the MCG at times. Like just the noise it was. It felt like a Carlton home game.
Yeah, I reckon if we played them at the G, I reckon we would have beat them for sure. And the good thing, what I said to my missus, at least it wasn't a thrashing. Like we only lost by 16 points. It was just a good game. It's just and even when we had a good lead in that first quarter, I said to my missus, I said they will come back because they are a good side. They play good at the Gabba. It's their home ground, and fair enough, that's what they did. And then I think they were up by 2 points or three points at halftime, and that's when I said, "What's this third quarter? It might turn I hope not, but I hope we come out like what we did first quarter." But other than that, I feel with the whole group, we're going to be back there next year.
How did you feel at the final siren? What were your feelings at the game? Were you angry? Were you upset? How did you feel?
No, I wasn't angry. I was actually kind of happy because from where we were sitting on the ladder, at the start of the season, we weren't doing great, and then from 15th, and then we actually our goal was just to make finals, and we made finals, and then to actually get in the prelim, to be honest, I was hoping just to win that first final, and then if we lost against Melbourne, so be it. I didn't think that we'll get to the prelim. But yes, yeah, we got here. So, yes, so I'm kind of happy with that, and that's why I feel with this group. That we can get better than next year, because even like last year, we lost like games within a kick, and then Vossi and the whole group's improved on that, and they've showed us what they've actually been doing at training, and like look at we won against Melbourne within a kick, and that's why I feel that with this group we're going to be better.
Mate, I love it. What is your thoughts next year, Razor? Where to Carlton finish? We do this show next year. Where are we? What are we doing?
I reckon we'll top 4 side. I reckon, and I reckon followed by the Giants. The Giants will be up there too. I reckon top 4.
Mate, is 2024 the year, Razor? Is that when we get 17?
Yeah, I hope so, mate. I hope so. I hope we get it, and I hope Brisbane Lions win. I hope they smash Collingwood.
Mate, I think we're all thinking that, mate. Razor, mate, it's great to see you, mate. Enjoy your day in Queensland, mate. Much love. Great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, Pommy. Good to see you, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Right, up next, we've got... He's a regular of this show, he is. He's got a short and sweet name. Big. He's got one hell of a fucking mustache as well. Big Tyler. How you doing?
How you going, Pom?
Hey, mate, I'm all right, actually. This is probably the first time ever in my Carlton history that we've lost, and I am not smashing the house up, so I'm pretty good.
Oh, yeah, no, look, on all honesty, full credit to the boys. Like, that was a great season. And full credit has to go to Brisbane Lions. Like, honestly, they are a very well-rounded team at the moment, and I'm just going to say it. They deserve the premiership after because I watched the Collingwood game, and Collingwood looked rattled. They limped over the line. I reckon Brisbane will definitely get them. But in terms of the game last night, the first quarter was exceptional, but you just knew it. You just knew Brisbane were just going to make a bloody quick play. If we kicked 6 goals and that was a goalless quarter for them, that would have helped. But no, it wasn't meant to be. But what I was appreciative of the fact that they went down fucking swinging. I love that. They didn't give up or all of that. They just kept on going, and that's what I've enjoyed about this turnaround from round 15. From when we were 15th to now, is that Voss basically said to him, let's just go back to the basics. Right, basics. Good defensive structure, which is number 1. Like, that's what any team needs. Second, pressure. We want to be defined by our pressure. Go and watch back that fucking Gold Coast game, that second quarter. That's us, 100%. And that was our first quarter against Brisbane as well. Defined by our pressure, all of that. And then also our contested ball use, fucking amazing. But the other thing that I think has really changed this club is maturity. Maturity is the biggest thing. Because you looked at, like, how you've referenced it so many times, and I'll say this, for example, that Brisbane game where Cripps absolutely tore the house down, 4 goals, 30 possessions, and all of that. He brought that team together. Well, now that's not happening anymore. It's everyone coming together, and that's what I like about this club. Now, it's not just key players bringing everyone along. And I'll say this as well, like, honestly, Boyd was fucking really good last night. I don't know where that came from him, honestly, but that's good to see, like, especially our bottom 6 actually starting to, bear fruit a little bit and just showing a little bit of extra depth that we can, bring in anyone, and all of a sudden, okay, right. Bring in Boyd. Oh yeah, he's kicking. He's got a beautiful kick on him. Actually, I absolutely love his passing. But Sam Walsh, fucking no words for him. Jacob Wiedering, mate, honestly, one of the best fullbacks I've ever seen. I just can't believe we got that far. I literally expected us only to win one final, but hey, to make it all the way for fucking prelim, especially after the season we had. But I just want to say this: it just goes to show one thing: you got to be top 4. You have to push for top 4, and it's very hard for any team to come from outside the top 8, just in the top 8, just below that top 4, to actually win a grand final. Hey, look, Western Bulldogs did it, but I can tell you now, like, we're not Western Bulldogs. We are a top 4 team, and we proved that last night. We've proved that now. We are
Are you there, Tyler?
We're better than
Yeah.
Got you back. We're better than every single one of those teams, in my opinion. So, but look, it was a good game. Hey, look, take it, move on to next year.
Mate, I agree with you. I mean, I think with the Doggies, people forget as well, the Doggies imploded. Like, they probably won it 2-3 years too early, and it set them back. I mean, I will say this. I think the first quarter, we looked good. And I think that, like you say, the top 4, that extra week, I think, of break has shown in the GWS game, because I felt Collingwood could peg them back way too easy. The legs started to go. Collingwood controlled that 4th. I think we saw that in this game, that second quarter. You saw they've played. People forget as well, Brisbane have done this 4 times and lost.
Correct.
So they've got the experience as well. You saw in that second quarter particularly, old heads, experience, they've been there and done it, a week fresher. And you 100%. Know what? I'd say our side are the best side at learning. Last year, round 23. Do you know what I mean? Last round 23, they came back, they've worked hard, they've got through the shit in round 12, which probably helped round 23, and they've gone nearly all the way. I'd be very scared this time next year where these boys are with this pain. Knowing that they were nearly there, I'd imagine they're going to surprise a few people next year.
Yep. And see, it was an I can't remember. Like, I know you interviewed Diesel Williams one time, and he said, and I remember this in the interview. He said, 1994 was the when they got into a prelim and they came. Oh no, I think it was a grand final and they lost. And they said, we came second, not good enough, not good enough. We got there, but not good enough. 95, we went on and won the bloody thing next year because they said, nah, we're not going to lose. We're going to go to the way. And they went on and absolutely smashed the competition. Like, this club has finally come full circle. It's taken a while, and I feel like, well, it started with Bolton. Like, he got it there, like, in a way. And full credit to Teague as well. You can't knock all of these old coaches and all of that because they had to deal with what they had at the time. But Voss has brought something out of them. Like, he's worked really hard with it, and especially like what I'm loving the most about this team is you know how we used to get blown out of the water by so many goals all the time. And we were always playing catch-up and all of that. It doesn't happen that regularly anymore, and I'm loving it. And I'm loving also just the determination. Like, they don't give up on the tackles and all of that. If they're the first to the ball, fucking brilliant. If they're second to the ball, straight away, instantly they're following up. Another person's coming in. Bang, bang, they're double-teaming everyone and all of that. We just got to fine-tune a very small couple of things, but, hey, this club is looking bloody brilliant.
Where do we think, Tyler, next year? Is it the year?
I've got a funny feeling, Pom. It is. I reckon we'll definitely make the grand final, 100%. But we've got to aim for top 4. We can't do this again. And what I think, and this is a very way to put it, you look at Collingwood, all the way through the season, majority of their wins weren't blowouts. They just got the job done, get through the season and all of that. And if you finish top 4, so be it. but they proved that they could remain top 4 and still play good footy when it counted. That's what we need to do, because when we come to the final big dance, we've got to be able to go bang. And look what Brisbane did. They clicked that quick. That second quarter, they just went from 0 to about 100 in the space of 10 minutes. And then they just didn't stop. So, hey, top 4 is my goal, 100%, and consistency. That's all. That's all I want. Consistency and top 4. And then we'll go somewhere. We win that first final against whoever we're playing against, we've got the granny. I can say that much. We lose it, or we're on shaky legs. So, but we'll get there.
Tyler, I'm ready, mate. Tyler, mate, you've got me up and about. I love you, mate. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the off season.
I will, mate. You too.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Right, up next, right, we've got she's fantastic, is this lady. She's lovely. We like Danielle. I've met Danielle. She's got the most perfect daughters as well, who make the coolest things ever. We've got the wonderful Sisterly Creations girls. How are we doing?
Hello. How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Yeah, we're all right. We're all right. How are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good.
we were there yesterday. Was a smashing first quarter. That was really cool. Win some, you lose some. Unfortunately, it wasn't our day in the end, but I just so proud of them. So proud of them, and the memories that we've had for this year from the club, from the supporters, all made so many memories. Yeah, it's been pretty special.
We have, haven't we? I mean, I think you've got to look at the things you can take out that are tangible and you can feel. And I think I think we might look back at this at round 12 and see the fallout as probably the best thing that's ever happened to the football club. We started the hashtag Stronger Together. It seemed to galvanise the boys. It galvanised the fan base. And I think for the first time in a long time, I feel like we are in a place where we can actually build. We can actually build and get better. But we're not going to go back to how it was. It always felt like we were always one loss away to going back to 2018. Now it feels like we can build. Charlie?
Yeah. Good on Charlie. No, we
Oh, there's a twin.
We went to the pre-match function. We did the whole march to the twins. We did the whole march to the ground. Put the earmuffs on the girls for a bit. It was quite an experience, and the atmosphere was awesome. We saw the first game of the year live because we were in Melbourne for that, and the last game. So we've seen a draw, a win, and a loss this year. We've met some of the players, got some photos and signatures. It's been really cool. But I was, 5 minutes to go, and I could tell, like I said to the girls, the year's over. The year's over, but be proud of them. Like even in that last quarter, we had a chance. We were still in it. We never really gave up. So we were really proud of them, and the supporters were awesome. Like, we were loud, and I think I only saw one person leave in the last quarter. And we had Carlton all around us. So we all stayed to the end. We all, clapped them off. Everything was so supportive. And seeing them huddled in the middle of the ground, I just thought was really powerful. And just leave united, and then looking back on the replay, when I watched the huddle, because I thought it was Cripps talking to them, but I watched it again, and it actually looks like Sard was talking, which...
It was Sard, yeah.
Completely shocked me. It was Sard?
Yeah, it was. It was Sard, yeah. So I don't think that's a surprise, though. If you actually speak to Sard, like, he is the most emotionally intelligent of all them boys. You can tell that he is the most. I would say he's got the dad in him. He's got daddy vibes.
Yeah.
As Sardi. He looks like the kind of guy I'd talk
Well,
to
he's so
if I needed a
humble and
cuddle.
quiet, and to see like, oh wow, that was Adam Sard talking to them all. I'm like, good on him, and no, that was real. I just loved seeing that, and yeah, but I don't know, like the atmosphere was, it was kind of like, yes, we were shattered, but we were all proud, so we could all hold our heads up high leaving that ground. No one wanted to cover their jumpers or anything, hide that they were Carlton supporters or anything like that. We were proud to leave as Carlton supporters. And even on the way home in the shuttle bus, like the Lions supporters, they all said, like, we got a big scare tonight, So, yeah, we were against them last week and we'll all be going for them next week. So...
We will do. Chance for them for Pies to draw level with us. So we don't want to hear that for a year. So hopefully the Lions can do it. But before I let you go, girls, what has been your favourite moment of the year? What has been your favourite moment of the year?
Oh, probably meeting Charlie at the airport.
That'd be my favourite moment too, to be fair. I like that. What about Mum?
Yeah. Mum, I think, I don't know, just reliving my childhood through my kids was awesome. I reckon the Guard of Honour, we were able to do the Guard of Honour against the Gold Coast. And that was really special. That was special, going on the ground. And that was one hell of a good day. So, yeah. But just sharing all of this with my girls for the first time, like they're actually at an age to really enjoy it and get into it. Take them to the footy and they're not like annoying me, so that's great. they're able to sit and watch a whole game. Yeah.
I never annoy you.
No, you never annoy me. No, you're all right. No.
Yeah.
No, it's been awesome, and just seeing the fan base support each other. Like I had a couple of extra tickets, so we were able to, pass them on, and just seeing everyone so supportive with each other. We've all come together. You've seen some really beautiful things within the community. So that's been really awesome. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, top 4. We're going to do top 4 next year. Get that advantage. And I reckon
Where have they gone? Can you still hear me?
Are we there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I
had my mum calling me from overseas. I had to hang up on her. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Call Mum later.
Chicken away. Yeah. No, so yeah, Carlton GWS Grand Final, I reckon, next year.
I like that. Well, chat, if you're listening, the girls make some great bracelets. My bracelet is in there somewhere. I'm not wearing it because I'm a naughty boy, but Mrs. Pom's still wearing ours. So in the chat, there is Sisterly Creations. They make Carlton bracelets, personalised. Go and support the girls. Uncle Pom demands it. I want to see bracelets. 80,000 round one. 80,000 round one. Right.
Well,
so you're going to be busy
out then.
but thank you very much,
Tommy.
girls. Honestly, your support has been tremendous. Enjoy the school holidays, and we'll win this flag next year.
Thanks to all of you for everything you've done this year. Up here in Queensland, we've relied on everything we've had. So yeah, hats off to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Much love. See ya.
One more time. Go Blues.
Go
Blues.
Go Blues.
Next year.
Well, I mean, if that doesn't G you up, chat, we've got families together. The community is great. And then we've got, right, a good mate of mine, right? I'll tell you what, a man that amuses me greatly a lot, right? And this guy is mental. Like, when you talk about Carlton fans, there's not many who are more batshit mental than this man, Mr. Webby.
Oh, hello, mate. How are you, buddy?
Hey, gave you a quality intro there, mate. How are you?
Thank you. Appreciate it, my man. How are we? What a ride, bro. What a ride.
You know?
Yeah, it was a wild one, wasn't it? I tell you, wild.
I've actually been thinking about it today. Going back last 13 weeks, like we knocked over Collingwood, we knocked over Melbourne twice, Port Adelaide came here 13 in a row. So what? See you later. I'm just proud, Pommy. I'm proud of my football club, you know? And I haven't said that for a very, very long time. Like, I'm probably the most critical of the football club out of anybody. But I'm just incredibly proud, and they went up there yesterday. Brisbane haven't lost all year. We freaking put the first 5 on them. I have to admit, I was actually looking ahead to grand final week, and I was thinking, oh my God, we've got the parade, we've got the grand final, we've got the Sunday. How could you not? How could you not, Pommy? I'm just proud, mate. And a massive shout out to our supporters who went up, Tez and Joe and the boys and Bazza, and like, well done, boys. You could hear it through the fucking TVs, you know, like the freaking noise was amazing. We got the best supporters, the best. I've never felt so a part of a community in my life. And I finally realised what this club means to me during the wins in the finals against Sydney and Melbourne. Like, it's just nuts. I love our boys, Pommy. I love them.
I know you do, mate. I know you do, man. Like, I mean, you know what, Webby? I look back now, and it's really easy to say. If I'd said this to me round 12, I would have probably punched myself. But I actually look back at round 12 in the dark times, and you know what? Maybe it's the getting old in me. I'm actually thankful for them, because for me to be happy now, I had to experience that low and remember what shit is, how it feels to lose, how it feels to be bad. And you know what? It's a tremendous feeling. I think you nailed it when you said you haven't felt proud of them in a long time. Like, to actually feel, wow, this is the club that represents us and we represent it, all going the one way. I think big things are approaching for us, Webby. Big things.
I think so. This, fingers crossed, is only the beginning. Like, there's nothing guaranteed. Okay, but if we work hard, we train hard, there's no stopping us, mate. We can beat anybody. We've proven that. We've proven that. So the words are oyster here. Like, the job isn't done yet, Pom and people out there. The job isn't done. We have to bring number 17 home. And
amen.
We start again.
Mate,
we go again,
amen.
Pommy.
Mate, we've gone to IKEA. We've bought the table.
Yeah.
Now it's time to get all the pieces out and fucking build the table.
Yeah.
But at least we've got a table. We finally got the table.
Just a word on yesterday's game. Like, Kitty Coleman killed us. Okay, we pushed Doherty up as the +1 at the stoppage, and they kind of kept him back, and he just did whatever he wanted all day. That's fine. That's footy, isn't it? That's footy. People critical of Charlie, like, please, he's kicked 80+ goals. Like, come on, people, come on. He got us to the finals, yeah. He got us there. So let's get off his back, yeah.
Mate,
Because
without
he
Charlie, we would have been playing Werribee. I tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
But
Get it. Hands off my boy.
fifth, I think Bazza told me 15.5 wins for the year today. This season. 15.5. It was 5 years ago we fucking won 2 games, Pom. 2.
Good
I
year,
sat through every
2018.
single one of those bastard games too, mate. I sat there. So it's been a journey. Yeah. Like I said, mate, I'm proud. We take a breath now, right? And the boys will go away, have a holiday, and then pre-season we're here. Open training sessions will be back. The girls are still playing, so get behind them as well. And let's go, mate. Let's go.
Webby, mate, honestly, before I let you go, what early season, what is the aim next year? So what is, in your mind, if you were writing the script, writing Voss, his KPIs, what is the minimum expectation in 2024 for you, Webby?
It has to be top 4, doesn't it? Has to be. We finished 5th and we fell asleep for 6 or 8 weeks. So has to be top 4. You can't win. You can't win the flag without finishing in the top 4, in my opinion. It's very, very hard. Very hard, Tom.
Mate, you've seen it with GWS and you saw it with us. Do you know what I mean? That extra game kicks you in the tits.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It kicks you in the proverbials. But Webby, mate, I love your work on the passionate blues that you do with the other mental cases that are on there. If you like swearing and stuff, get around that. Them boys absolutely love it. But Webby, mate, I can't wait to have a beer with you in the off season and us laugh about this in the years to come when we have 17, 18, 19 and 20 in the trophy cabinet.
Just before I go, a massive shout out to our supporters, our community. We are the most passionate supporters in the comp. Those finals, especially the Melbourne final, was mental being there. I know you did the watch along, Pom. I can tell you, it was mental at the ground. The stands were shaking. So, to our fans, thank you. I love you, and I'll see you next year, hopefully.
You definitely will do, Webby. Webby, I love you, mate. Much love, and
much love, mate.
We'll have a beer soon, mate.
Have a good off season. See you, bud.
Cheers, mate. Right, up next, first, let's get some donations out of the way. The man who donated, right, Robbie Varley sends a super sticker. Ladies and gentlemen, we can get a live reaction on someone who's just spent money on the channel. Robbie, how you doing?
G'day, Pommy. How are you, mate?
Hey, mate, I can't complain, mate. How are you?
Mate, very, very proud of our team. I've had a lot of contact from friends asking if I'm all right. And normally I'm probably like you, I'm pretty sort of ropeable after a loss. And my week's totally shit. I'm in a shitty mood. But how can you be in a shitty mood after that? Like what the boys have done, the games to get us to the finals. I mean, if you had told us honestly that we would have beat Port, Collingwood, Melbourne last 3 games, we lost to GWS, but last 4 games, you would have said no way. That's not going to happen. We're just not going to make it. But we did it, and then to beat Sydney, then to beat Melbourne again. Like, what more can you ask for? And I think that as a supporter base, we're a bit impatient because we have expected a lot. We've been a bit behind the ball. But at the same time, you've got to put in perspective and understand that these things just don't happen quickly. We've been building, mate. I've got this is from 2016. I keep this on my desk here, mate, for all the folks the SOS recruiting haters.
They look about 12 years old.
I know, isn't it incredible? It just goes to show these things just take years. And mate, we were at the game. As the games, the two final games didn't get up to Brisbane, and mate, just seeing people crying in the stands. It was fucking incredible, mate. And those are experiences I share with my daughter. I got a family membership in 2014. My daughter was 5 at the time. She was just old enough to go, and we've experienced sort of this whole thing as a family, mate. And it's just been an absolute amazing ride, and looking forward to next year with a really lot of hope and enthusiasm and realistic hope too. Not this sort of this bullshit thing about we've gone through different coaches and you kind of go Bolton, Tiki, are they going to work? I'm not really sure. We just do this up and down. We were totally hopeless one week. Show some signs. It's real. It is really real this year. So mate, just absolutely just wrapped to be a part of it and appreciate you guys and your efforts. Like it's a part of our family weekly journey as we go to the footy or watch it at home if it's an interstate game, and make them watch you guys on the fan cams, and that's what we do. That's a part of our footy life, mate. So thank you.
I'm glad that you enjoy it. I apologise if your kids have learned any swear words, though.
None they haven't learned from me already, mate. Don't worry.
Robbie, what has been, like, now the dust has settled, what has been your favourite moment of this year? What has been the moment that you're going to take with you next year? I always think it's important when you suffer hardship like this loss, you take one positive and you drive with that to get over the next hurdle. What's that one positive for you? What's been your favourite moment of 2023?
Well, that's a great question. I think that the first time I believed was the Port Adelaide win. And I hate fuckers that said Jason Horne-Francis was injured and this guy was injured and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me show you our injury list as well. Fuck you, we got an injury list. Every team carries injuries. But that's where I went, wow, these guys have got it. And not only that, I mean, it was a spanking. And then they backed it up again against Collingwood and backed it up against Melbourne. And thank God for Blake Acres' fingernails, mate, because they're the most. Don't cut his fingernails, whoever's at the club, because mate, those fingers have saved us a few times. But yeah, just that desperation and that will to win, and at various times where you just go, wow, these guys look so good. You look at the back line, the way they function together, Wiedering, Sard, all of them, the wings. I mean, Blake Acres and Hollins, and they just think they function so well. And my only thing is, and this is obviously a part of the development, is how we improve entry to the forward line. That's what kills us. And again, like last night, even I was watching it, I was just happy for us to be there. What killed me was these big bombs into the forward line. And people start bagging Charlie out. No. Charlie's got 3 guys on him. And he's got one of the best defenders in Harris Andrews on him. Don't bag Charlie out. He's doing the best he can. We have to improve that run from the back into the midfield. But that will come. I'm sure that will come. But mate, I want to actually ask you a question.
Hit me.
I'm already thinking about next year. And I'm thinking about, if you look at our list, the age group at the moment, we've got some youngies, but most of us are of mid-age. Cripper, Doc, they're getting into their late 20s. It's kind of the time is now. Do we, in my opinion, I think that we need another A-grade midfielder. I love Hewitt, but I think he's a bit slow, and I think sometimes his kick is inaccurate. I think if we could get another midfielder pre-made, an A-grader, that would do it. 1, do you agree with that? And then 2, how do we go about getting that?
I think it's tough. I mean, I understand the reservations of Hewitt. I think Hewitt, for me, is our Viney. I think he's our workhorse, and I think he's never going to be that 35-touch tear a game open. I think Voss has settled on him because I think it takes the pressure off Cripps. It stops Walsh having to go and get his own ball, and Cherry, which we saw when we were losing a few games. They would have to go from being the classy footballers to the workhorses. And it's like having a Ferrari and driving it in horse shit, I think, if you're getting Walsh and Cherry to go and get their balls. I actually think you nailed it when you said about our entries. I think where we really lack is, and you watched what Brisbane did, they did it so well in the second quarter. You saw their age, you saw their experience of being able to have one more kick before going inside 50. And it's that 65 metres out from goal that killed Carlton. You hit that short target, everything is chaos, and they have them easy entries. And Hipwood and Danaher got some very easy kicks at goal, which fortunately they missed, but it was easy. I think we need another high half forward. I think at the moment, Cottrell's the stopgap, but I think Cottrell's a winger who happens to be good at that. We tried Sam Doherty this week, which kind of worked, but I think we missed Sam Doherty's out wideness and coming into the ball. So I'd like us to see a real classy high half forward. We've got Martin one side. I'd like to see that pseudo crafty player. And I feel like, unfortunately, if that's not Elijah Hollands with his speed, who has been linked with us, he's got a horrific injury record, though. If he can get fit, though, very good footballer. Might have to be a draft, and we might have to. It's the easiest position in the league to blood someone high half forward. We've seen the success with Rosie. We've seen the success with Butters in his first year before becoming a midfielder. I think that's the area. A little bit of speed and a little bit of panache and class. But unfortunately, they don't grow on trees. Everyone wants one. But I'm confident that we'll find one. And if that's Hollands, it's Hollands' brother. If not, we'll have to try and fabricate it in our list.
What are your thoughts on sort of, let's just say that you identify someone of an existing club that's a gun right now, mid-20s, ready to go, and packaging up a first-round draft pick and next year's first-round draft pick. Big risk, but obviously you had a look at them. Is that something that you would entertain?
Well, I think our future first is on the table. We've guaranteed the Camparellis the year after. So for Carlton, we might as well use the AFL's manipulation and just get a second in so we can get to 30s and pay compensation picks. I mean, if I could have anyone in the league, I'd be taking Bailey Fritsch. I think Bailey Fritsch allows us to keep Harry in the goal square and Charlie in 50, and Fritsch does the hard work. I don't think Jack Silvani's got the pace to do that. Bailey has. So I think if I could inject pace to Jack Silvani, that'd be perfect. I can't. Bailey Fritsch would be the dream. I think he's the best player in the league at what he does. I mean, there is some players, though. Nate Caddy is a guy that has played a lot higher up the ground. He'll be about 5 to 10. He can play the third tall, but he's that awkward height, but he's very quick. He could be someone that Carlton look at and go, well, you know what? We can protect him. We can protect him straight away. Be an interesting one. I think Nick Austin's got to get creative. I mean, if it's Elijah Hollands, though, I'm a big fan. Elijah Hollands will cost next to nothing. If you watch my interview I did with Ollie, there is no one that works harder than his brother. And his brother taught him a lot what Ollie knows about work ethic. So, right system, if we can get him fit, he is a classy footballer and he would cost peanuts.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the go. Obviously, if we find someone who's fits the mold and doesn't cost us a lot, that would be the way to go.
Mate, Robbie, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, mate. Thank you so much for the support this year, mate. You're one of the good ones. I hope you have a great off-season. I can't wait to do this with you next year. Ride the wave, mate.
You too, Pommy. Have a great one, mate.
Cheers, mate. Much love.
Take care.
Right, up next, right? This man's going to bring the energy. He's going to bring the energy. He's one of my favourites on Fadcams. Big Kurt, how you doing?
What's going on, Tom? How's it going?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Oh, that's good. Man, I'm proud. I'm just sad that the rave is over, man. And I'm paying for next year, man. Like seriously, we were just so close. First quarter, we smashed them, and unfortunately, just couldn't hold it. And that's okay. It's you gotta learn through these things, yeah. And unfortunately, we have to learn some more. But you know what? We're gonna do it because it's in the narrative.
Well, I mean, mate, you're wearing your All Blacks shirt proud. I mean, it's all a process, isn't it? It's all a process.
Yeah,
you learn,
exactly.
you learn.
Exactly. You know what? We just gotta believe in the boys. You know, there's throughout this season, you could actually pinpoint multiple moments of a genesis of something special happening, and we've had multiple. There's usually teams you've only had one moment, and you could sense something's happening. We've had multiple this season alone, and I've you know, you just got to believe because they've given us that. They've given us the reason to. You know what I mean? They've given us the reason to believe with them, and seeing them walk out. You know, they weren't. Like they were legitimately devastated. Even though that we were happy with them and stuff like, you could just see that they knew if they were able to, throughout the second and third quarter, they would have had them, and they know it. They know it, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that with professional teams. You know what I mean? You don't want them to. Just be all happy and this and that. You just know that they know that they have it, and that's all you want. That's all you need. And next year, who knows? It's in the narrative. That's it.
Mate, you know what really hit me was hearing Cripps talk at the end of the game with the message to the fans, and you could see there was a bit of pain there. You could see that he was genuinely gutted, and that excites me because if he's gutted, he can fix it.
Yeah, and it gives them the hunger more. It gives them more hunger. And I know I'm talking about stuff that doesn't really matter about statistics and stuff like that. It's all mental, but you need to talk about the mental stuff. You need to take in that. You need to see it. You need to judge it, because you look at the Adelaide grand final, that power stance shit. They haven't made the grand final back since. You know what I mean? Even the Collingwood game this season, I believe, was the most important genesis moment throughout the season, because how they took us out in the final. From the finals last year, how Sidebottom was laughing at us the post game in the first outing with Collingwood this season, and then Maynard just shoving his 2 cents in prior to the second outing, and even the fans, that there was a sense of entitled arrogance that Collingwood had it over us, and it was through the whole club of Collingwood, and we needed to draw the line in the sand and say, hey. Nah, that ain't fucking happening. And we fucking demolished them that game. And they're in the grand final. So, there's belief. There's belief, You just got to believe. That's it.
Kurt, what's been your favourite moment of this year? What's the one memory you're going to take with you into next year? What is your favourite 2023 Carlton moment?
I was going to say Collingwood, but then I realised Doherty, the dislocated shoulder last week, and how Vossi was telling have you got anything left to give this? He said, nah, I'm going to give it more. I've got everything you could ask him to do. I'll still fucking give it. And that's what you want. That's what you fucking want, because he was playing with a dislocated shoulder. his shoulder was cooked, and he proceeded to play the next game. That's you got to give it to Doc, man. He's a warrior, mate. He is a warrior.
Mate, he's got some big heart, hasn't he? He's got a big heart. He's what you want in battle, isn't he? You know, you have to kill him. You have to stop him going out.
He's a leader of actions. He's a leader of actions. Some leaders are more, performative. They know how to fucking give out a speech. They know how to, do this and that. Point the fingers and stuff like that. Take accountability. But Doc is just a person of action. He inspires people around him to do better. And I really believe that he lifted the whole side, just from that moment on. And I reckon we're in a preliminary final because of his actions. I reckon we had another gear. We shifted towards another gear against Melbourne last week because of that moment.
Mate, I think you nailed it. Kurt, what is your minimum expectation for 2024?
Top four. Highest was I want to finish top two, because you need to lock in those home prelims. You need to make the run as easy as easy as possible. You don't want to stuff around with the top 3 and 4 and hope that an interstate team isn't playing. You're not playing an interstate team, so you want to take away that. But top four.
Kurt, mate, I love you to pieces. Thank you very much. And can't
Love
wait
you
to
too,
chat
bro.
to you next year.
Yep, bring it on. Cutting the baggers.
God bless, mate. Right, up next, we've got a guy who's been waiting patiently. I'm a big fan of beards on this show, and this gentleman here, Josh, has developed a proper beard.
Oh,
How you
mate.
doing, mate?
Uncle Pommy, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
What a time to be alive this year as a Carlton supporter, hey? I
Been
mean,
pretty good, mate.
what
I've
a
seen
journey.
some dark stuff on this show. It's nice to do some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. What a journey this year. I mean, round 13, that was such a low. Yeah. And to a prelim, I remember going, because I went to Icon Park to watch the game with my family, and I was like, guys, we're in a fucking prelim here. 5 years ago, this was an impossibility. Here we are. It's we're in it. So,
mate, you talked about round 13. Just tell me so I can understand. How did you feel? We've come off the field at Essendon. How were you feeling inside?
Probably not dissimilar to a lot of other people. I mean, I didn't go to that game, so I think for me the worst moment was losing to Collingwood a couple of weeks earlier. I was at that game, and that was pretty close to despair. But after the Essendon game, you really, people not connected to me would ask, how's Carlton going? It's like, let's not talk about it. It's a really strange. I think we've been a club that's for so long. It's like, who do you support? The Blues. And now it's, mate, I support the Blues. That's such an awesome place to be.
Josh, I think you've nailed it, because you know what? All my mates, every year, usually about this time, I get my mates going, oh, it's all right, Pommy. I love the list. You'll be all right. The Blues are going to get better. And it's always sympathy. And I've really enjoyed this year, my mates kind of being like, Jesus, the Blues look good. Don't want to. My mate's a massive Collingwood fan, and he's been saying to me, really don't want you in a final. I actually think we're in trouble if we play you. And having that change of narrative where they respect us instead of pity us.
Yeah, well, I really liked that going into the Sydney game, and we won that game. We totally just ended the narrative that oh, well, they can make finals, but they can't win one. We just shut that up straight away. I loved that. That was great.
Josh, what has been your favourite moment? You've told us about the darkness against Essendon. What has been the best moment? What has been the moment that you've really enjoyed?
I was at the Melbourne game last week. That final siren, probably one of the best moments of my life. That was crazy, emotional. That Akers goal, like, take your 30 seconds, son. But you've just kicked the winning goal. Fuck me. Yeah, that Melbourne final series of events. And it's so poetic, right? We're a club that it just writes its own story.
It does.
So
we love the story.
We're a club that loves stories, and we fucking ripped one there. So that was certainly the high. Yeah.
And what's your minimum expectation, Josh? We've had this year, we've got over it. What are you looking for next year? If you were telling Voss what his minimum expectation is, what's your minimum expectation for the boys?
I think this year has taught us that when we're stronger together and we play as 18 men on a field, we play some of the best football in the competition. I think certainly yesterday against Brisbane, what I noticed is on the ball, we are super strong, but off the ball, we just looked a bit unorganised, especially against Brisbane. They looked so much better set up. So the expectation, if I was speaking to Voss, was like, how are we going to fix that ball movement off the ball? And I think when that gets sorted, the expectation would be making a prelim. However we get there, is however we get there, but making a prelim. Top 4, super important. I think yesterday we certainly learnt the importance of what top 4 can be, because they just looked better prepared for that game. They look more energized, less bruised and battered, which I think a couple of us, of the boys, could have been. And yeah, so top 4 would be certainly a check mark, but that could be, making a prelim is more important.
Hey, Josh, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Thank you for sharing your story. I love the beard. I wish I could grow one, but I haven't got the genetics. But Josh, love you, mate, and I can't wait to talk to you next year, mate.
Yeah, mate. Love your work all year. You're so entertaining to listen to on everything you do. You're great, especially in
Cheers,
chat.
Josh. I really appreciate
you get us
it, mate.
around it.
Cheers,
Thanks,
mate. Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Good luck. Oh, God, I'm losing my voice. Right. Up next, right? These might be one of my favourite families ever, right? This guy is probably the best at playing a musical instrument I've ever seen. His sister is an absolute darling. She is a Melbourne girl, but this is Big Ben. Big Ben. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, Tommy. How are you?
Mate, I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good. Considering we lost, I feel okay.
Likewise. Yeah, what a ride. What a ride this year has been. Never felt so much proud to be a Carlton supporter. Just like everyone else. Well, just like everybody else, really.
Mate, I remember doing the Melbourne video with your sister, and she was saying to me that there's a lot of Melbourne in Carlton. She sees that they're a young list, and she said that they needed a spark. And once they start to believe, they could be some of the best teams in the competition. We've had that spark. Are you starting to get really excited now that you can look at your sister and go, we've won a flag?
Yes. She even believes we could actually win a flag. Like, she was like saying, oh, Carlton beat us. Like, no hard feelings. Like, but I think this team's they're gonna impact the finals. And I mean, even the stats. We believe in the Harry's stats a lot, and it's like, yeah, I think we could win the flag. It's there. It's right there. We can taste it.
We can taste it. And what's been your favourite moment, Ben, this year? There's been so many great moments in these last 14 weeks. What's been your favourite moment?
Oh, there's heaps. This is a tough one. This is like, I was listening to everybody's questions. I was like, definitely. Well, beating Collingwood was one of them. That was a few. Beating Collingwood, that roar against Melbourne when we beat Melbourne like 4 points, was like, that was insane. And And when Caleb March makes a hand of God, it's like, yes. That was another. Oh, I'll never forget that. But also the semifinal and obviously the finals, the roar, unbelievable. I even saw, crazy in the semifinal. When we were like, oh, Melbourne's probably going to the top 5. I saw a few Carlton players leave. I saw a few Carlton fans leave. I was like, where are you going? They just missed out on possibly the greatest moment of your life. That
was insane, wasn't it? I mean, it's crazy to think that 15 weeks ago, like, people were talking about sacking Voss. The media was saying Carlton needs to sack Voss. You had Lee Matthews come out and talk about maybe Harry and Charlie have made a mistake committing long term to Carlton and guaranteeing never to win a flag. To now, the energy is so happy and positive, and we've finally broken through, and people can see we're a proper team.
Yes, that's what I was. A lot of. In fact, I had some friends and some Oppo fans were like, they were pitying us. I was like, oh, fuck them. But they're like, no, I like what you guys are doing. Even this final series is, we had respect from even some of the most like hated fans. Like I was at the shops once, and there was a person who went for a Richmond. I was like, I hate Carlton, I can't stand Carlton, but I love what you guys are doing. So like, thank you, man. It's like it even gets support from other people. Like, even my friend who's a Bulldog supporter, we don't talk that, but he's like, nah, I think like go Blues, mate, go Blues. So yeah, it was nuts.
Do you feel like this time next year, Ben, do you really feel like we can cement that top 4, get that home final, get that easier route, and then do you think they'll learn from this? Do you think this will be the next thing that gets them over the line? We know round 23 probably got them to here, the pain against Collingwood. Do you think they can use the pain again to go one step further?
Oh, 100%. Yes. This is a team. Yeah. I definitely believe it. Definitely.
And Ben, before I let you go, who's winning the Coleman Medal next year? Is it Harry or is it Charlie?
Oh, good question. Harry, give Harry another crack. Got that confidence back. You got that confidence back.
I love it, mate. I love you to pieces, mate. I've enjoyed getting to know you this year, mate. You're one of my favourites on Twitter. Lots of love to you and the family, Ben, and I can't wait to see you next year, mate.
Likewise, Pommy. It's great to speak to you and finally get to meet you face to face, even though it's like this.
Ben, we'll definitely have a beer together, mate. Thank you very much. Love you, mate.
Thank you, Pommy, and thank you for everyone. And thank you, everyone.
Cheers, mate. Can I just say, right, there is someone in the chat, you all know him, Josh __, right? This is a message to Josh __, right? Like Nick Austin has to cull some of the people that aren't good enough to get Carlton to a flag, you have been unanimously culled from the chat. So stop creating fake profiles to come here and stay relevant. On behalf of the Carlton community, no one wants to hear you, no one wants to see you, and no one wants to hear the drivel you speak. This is a united football club, and you, my friend, are part of it. We have traded you out, and all we've asked for in return is you to shut the fuck up. All right? That is all I'll say on it. You can keep making the fucking profiles and stuff, and I'll keep deleting you. But you are not wanted. You are not needed. No one wants your energy here. So go and hug mummy, and hopefully she can give you the love that she obviously didn't give you as a child. On next, right? Someone that I do love. The main man, my colleague, the man that when I am depressed, I go to, and he guides me through life, sometimes slaps me around the face and tells me to toughen up, but genuinely always gives me wisdom. The Fuzz man, how are you?
Mate, I'm good. What has warmed my heart has been seeing all the positivity, the gratitude, and all that's being presented by everyone who knows me or follows me or talks to me. That's what I believe in. That positivity, just it's infectious. It's equally as infectious as being negative, but it's so much more powerful, and I love it. This has been one of the best fan cams, one of the more emotional fan cams I've seen. It's after a loss, yeah, because I'm seeing so many people just positive and oh yeah, we're all flat. We all, mate, I was as flat as anyone, but just reflecting, it's such a powerful thing, and knowing the memories that we've created this year are going to be there forever, and that's what's important.
Mate, I agree with you. And, you know, Fuzz, you've taught me a lot in my journey with you, Fuzz. I mean, like, you are one of the most logical and most focused on positivity. Sometimes when I want to kick my cat into next week, Fuzz is the man who keeps the cat alive because he gets inside my head. But, like, Fuzz, you're really emotionally intelligent and you help guide stuff. What's been the big turning point? Because you work with children in your day-to-day life and you know all about learning. What has been the big thing that you think you've seen change in these boys in a term of maturity and learning?
Honestly, I think it's belief in themselves. You know, it's something powerful that you can talk to people and say, you know, don't do it for me, don't do it for them, don't do it for yourself. And I think a lot of that for themselves, that there is a direct change from the. You look at Jacob Weeder, and I think he's the poster boy of our change. Anyone who wants to go back and watch at the start of the year, I knew there was a Kurt Zuma thing coming through.
I was skirting around it when I made the
reference. I loved it. Go back to the start of the year and watch Jacob Wiedering and watch his slow, methodical play compared to, say, the match-winning goal against Melbourne and how he's played now. That's self-confidence. That's not coached. That's not taught. That's not instructed. That is self-confidence and confidence in your team. So to me, that was the biggest change. One thing I want to point out as well is Vossi was constantly shit-canned, and there was one famous press conference, I think it was after the Collingwood loss earlier in the year, and he spoke about, everyone's going about, oh, we're not kicking goals, we're not scoring goals, and he said, and I'll semi-quote it along the lines of, you keep talking about attack, whatever, I'm more focused on defence. That's how we're going to win games. And I just want to put it on maybe someone's mental rule. Brisbane averaged 105 points at the Gabba, and we kept them to 79 in a prelim. We're a phenomenal defensive football team that won us 2 finals and will continue to win us finals if we focus on that defensive aspect of the game. Vossi was right. No one saw it, but he was right. Getting that defence right, and then what happens for the rest up the ground happens up the ground. But to me, the biggest change was just belief, confidence, and, you know, whilst supporters were starting to fall away, I genuinely believe there was a strength in the club that kept them together, and that was Michael Voss.
Mate, I think you nailed it, and I think you know what I think. Rand that Essendon loss, I actually saw. I remember them images, you know, of the players walking, people telling Jack Silvani to take the Guernsey off. He's not fit enough to wear it. There was that guy leaning over and spitting on him. I actually think that actually it affected me because I realized that I do get quite emotionally charged when we lose a game. I get quite into it. It affected me to kind of maybe think of how I act when I lost. Do you know what I mean? When we lost. But I saw 90% of the fan base rally round the boys and were like, right, okay, shit, that's too far. We don't want that. And started defending the club. And all the media ran them articles, sack Vossi, sack everyone, all that rubbish, right? It really galvanized us because we had a common enemy. It wasn't the football club. It was the media. It was the hate. And I think we've actually seen not just the Charlie Curnow camp, we've had our own Charlie Curnow camp where we're all behind the boys, pushing them and with them all the way. And I actually think maybe accidentally we have got a better fan base from what happened then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think that the collective mindset of everyone getting together, of making sure that we were all focused on the same thing, and I think that that was huge, because whilst it wasn't a great look, you're right, everyone got around the boys, and you asked everyone what their favourite moment of the year was, people coming on, and my one's a little bit different, because my favourite moment of the year, dare I say it, and obviously not the result, but was at the end of yesterday's game, where all the Carlton fans were there clapping off our boys. To me, that showed a united football club, and that was my favourite. I actually shed a tear. I did. I definitely shed a tear when I saw that. I'm like, we're all in, and I think that was. Say hi, Mads.
Hey.
So that was actually my favourite moment, because we showed we're all in. We're all in it together, and obviously the result wasn't great, but you compare that image to early on in the year, and that was huge. That was huge.
Mate, I think you nailed it. I think, you know, you can hold them to account, but I think we've got so used to being miserable, and like Gav is falling on his sword. Don't do that, Gav. I actually think we needed to know what the limit was. We needed to know where it is. And I think we're so used to negativity at Carlton Football Club that it kind of encompassed us and he took us over for a minute. But something happened. We found a common enemy. And look at us now. Do you know what I mean? We are flying. I think for the first time ever, Carlton have started a hashtag that isn't cringe. I think hashtag Stronger Together is the best thing ever.
Yeah, and I posted something like that today, and I think the Stronger Together needs to be up there with the ad of puppies aren't just for Christmas. You know, Stronger Together is not just for finals. It doesn't end now. That needs to be our membership slogan. It needs to be everything. They need to run with that, because that's powerful. I loved it.
Fuzz, where are we finishing next year, baby?
Great question. Again, I don't like to deal in absolutes. I don't like to deal in prelims and do all this. What I just want, and my expectation is quite simple. What have we win 12 and a half games this year in the season? My expectation is simple: be hard to beat. Just be hard to beat. Go at it. Back our system. Be hard to beat, and that should be enough to win games. No, you know, the gather round sits in my head. You know, against Adelaide. None of those. No more of those games. Let's be hard to beat. I don't mind losing. I can deal with losses very, very well. But I want teams to have to beat us. That's the key. So where are we finishing next year? I believe anywhere from first to sixth is where we will finish, in that top six. Anywhere from first to sixth. I obviously want to finish in the top four, but I just want to be hard to beat. That's all.
Faz, talking about hard to beat, West Ham, Liverpool.
Whew.
You were top of the league for 12 hours. Can you do the unthinkable before I let you go?
3.5 hours till kickoff. Absolutely. Hammers, they're going to bring it home. Let's do it.
Hey, I love it. Faz, mate, as always, love you to pieces, mate. Much love to the family, and can't wait to talk to you probably in 5 days for football.
Yeah, no worries, mate. See ya.
Cheers, mate. See you soon. He's been waiting patiently. I don't know if he's there because I can see his thing. Andrew, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, me. Hey.
How you doing, mate?
There we go, mate. Good. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Yeah, disappointed that we didn't have a crack at the big dance this year. But to be honest, the expectation was that we were to play finals, and we did that. And yeah, I like everyone. I can't be prouder than the boys and what they've done. And yeah, it's just a massive jump to build on in the next season. So we're in a really good position. Really good position.
Did you, Andrew, talk to me about the emotions? Because I reckon that final game was kind of like every emotion we felt in the season in 4 quarters. There was the hope. There was the, oh my God, this is going to happen. There was the taking away. And then there was the pride. Like, how was that experience for you? Because it's unlike anything else, isn't it?
It was, and it was pretty intense where we were at the Carlisle Hotel yesterday, I tell you, because it was packed. It was pretty much it was a Carlton pub. Everyone was Carlton. So they had Carlton in the inside lounge. We're in the beer garden. We had it out there as well. And it was massive. And yeah, like I said, after the first quarter, we were just we were vibing something pretty good, and we think, dude, this is going to happen. We were really, really hopeful. And then the switch happened, which I don't know whether it was I'm not going to say the boys took their foot off the pedal, because they didn't. It's just I think Brisbane just worked it out. They worked out their game plan wasn't working in the first quarter, and they just fixed it. And they came at us. So, but and I think the score at the end is a test to that, because it was only 2 goals at the end of the day, or 11 points, so not even 2 goals. So yeah, massive. It's just a massive improvement. And you're talking about standout moments this year, and the standout moment for me actually wasn't the game. I don't know if you ever watched any of Vossi's talks with the boys that they record on the Carlton website. Yeah, listen to those, man. And he's not only just the coach, but he's embedded himself into the spirit of that team. He is part of the breath of that team, and that's how close he is to these fellas. And yeah, that really grabbed me. I thought, well, this is the magic that, as a coach, he is passing on to the team, and nurturing the belief. And we've seen it happen, and right before our very eyes. To witness that is a beautiful thing, to be honest. It's something that we haven't seen for 10 years. So
I think you nailed that, Andrew. And I think Bugsbell as well. He's talking about Brian Cook. One thing I've noticed from my interactions with the players is when they've talked about Kane Liddell and David Teague or Andrew McKay and Brendan Bolton, it's always been kind of like the reaction from speaking to the players. It's like kind of your favourite teacher is how they've talked about them. The thing I've noticed when I've talked to the players about Vossi and Cook is it's more like as someone they really respect. It's not the teacher that lets them get away with murder. It's more like the teacher that teaches them something, and he's hard on them when he needs to be. But you can see they respect them so much. They want to learn everything. And I think that's a culture change.
Yeah, that absolutely. And they appreciate it, They say, tell me, it's like in any relationship. You tell me if I'm doing something wrong, right? So this is what we're seeing. And yeah, it's magical. It's definitely unique, because I don't believe any other club would have it quite like we've got it, because they don't have Voss, obviously. But yeah, one of the best pickups we've had in the last couple of years, that's for sure. And yeah, it just and it was like, yeah, we were disappointed, but it's not hopeless. Like, let's go back, say, 4 years ago. You thought, where are we going? What's happening? It was just we had no vision. We've got the vision now. We can see what's going to happen. So it is, and you can take the loss a little bit easier. And yeah, it's just going to be a great ride for 2024. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it already.
It's going to be the longest 5 months. Usually,
yeah, absolutely.
I've got to say, usually at this stage of the season, I'm like, thank Christ we haven't got football for 5 months. I am actually quite sad that we don't have football for 5 months, because I want it to start again. And I've got a few Richmond and Collingwood mates. They're always like that. I'm usually like, don't care about football. Don't want to hear about it. I'm actually keen for it to go again.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't nothing like watching Fagan's face though after the first quarter. Hey, that was awesome. That was about the highlight of the game for me. But
I've got to say that first quarter, I was inside so happy. Like I was so happy. I don't think apart from holding my kids and my wife saying I
Yep.
do, brownie
Yep.
points live stream. I reckon that was the happiest I felt internally when the
Yeah.
first quarter siren went. I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah, yeah, it really got us going. That's for sure. But yeah, and everyone was up and about that after that, and they high fiving people I've never met and all this sort of stuff. It was quite extraordinary, and actually I was sitting next to Doug. Doug was telling me he's been over and met you and Terry, I think.
Oh yeah.
But he's a Blue Abroad faithful, and so it was good to catch up, or not to catch up, but to meet him anyway, and something a bit in common. So sort of fairly well known out here, I think, Blue Abroad by the sounds of it, and the West Australian blues community is very much alive and kicking. It's huge. It is huge. So
you guys are batshit out there. I've got to say, I know a few of them, and Josh and stuff. Like, you guys are mental fan base. It's great. It's great to see. It's great to see.
Yep. And it was great to see the amount of blue in the crowd at the Gabba as well. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. So yeah, all round, disappointed, hopeful. And definitely looking forward to a new season.
Andrew, before I let you go, who is going to be? We expect Chera to win the BNF this year. Who, in your opinion, is going to be next year's best player?
I'll tell you what. I was looking at bloody Ollie. Ollie yesterday, you know who he reminded me of? J-Sauce. Sauce.
Yeah, he's got a bit of heart and soul, hasn't he?
Just a heart and soul, and he's just a worker. He just worked it, and he didn't give up. I just thought, man, he was like a dog with a bone. He was like, you could see he really wanted it, right? He really wanted it, and he was working hard during that game. And he was a standout. And Chera. Definitely Chera, yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
mean, of course, the standards, but we'd like to give the glory to someone else every now and again. But Ollie Hollands, geez, he's got a future. That guy, if he keeps going the way he's going, he's going to be. But he's so good for us.
He's a gorgeous human being, is Ollie, and I've had the privilege of interviewing him, and I can tell you, he is the biggest Carlton nuffy in the world. If he wasn't a footballer, he would be on this show. Like, he loves the football. And you could see when he was playing, he's one of us out there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I can just see the commitment and the desire and the will to want to have to win. And so I hope it's infectious. I hope they all catch that sort of attitude. But I mean, they are going in that right direction anyway. So we look at the team back, 5 months ago to now. It's a brand new team. It's completely different to where they were. So,
Andrew, mate, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for all the support as well, mate.
Always, mate.
When I'm next in WA, I'll look you up. We'll have to go for a beer, mate, and chat football.
100%. I'll be looking forward to it, Pommy, and we'll all get together and have a good old yak. Sounds great.
I can't wait, mate. Much love. Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks. See you later, Pommy. Go Blues.
Go Blues. $5 donation from Peter V, my main man. I'd like to say I'm proud of the boys despite last night's result. Onwards and upwards for 24. Get on the Lions bandwagon just for Saturday. I find it really hard, Peter, to support a team that's not Carlton. Like, I'll find it really hard. Like, is it enough if I just don't want Collingwood to win? But I won't cheer goals. Right, I've got 2 more left, and then I get to have a 4-day break, and you get to enjoy it. So the guy that makes me cry every week, he's a fan favourite, and we're going to end with a usual ending. I've got a bit of a surprise for your chat, so stay tuned. But up next, right, a man that I just love this guy. He makes me feel good about myself. Mr. Toby, how you doing?
Pommy, thank you very much, Matt. That is absolutely beautiful. I can't thank you enough for that, Matt. I'm doing well. I'm doing very, very well. I'm very, very proud of our boys. I mean, what a year it's been. What a season it's been. If we can go back in 10 years' time and look back at this year, what a journey. What an absolutely fantastic journey. And I mean, yeah, okay, I know we lost last night and it's going to hurt. But look at the sides who have lost the prelim final and what's happened to them the year after. They've gone and won a grand final. Next year, I believe we can do it. We can do it, and we are going all the way, Matt. All the way. Bring on 2024. Yeah, okay, we've got a wait for the next 5 months, but footy will come around again. Yeah, okay. Enjoy, if you're a cricketing fan like me, enjoy the cricket season. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the warmer weather. Enjoy going out with your family and doing stuff. Because, Pom, I enjoyed the game last night because I had my family around. I had my mum sitting with me. I had my brother and my sister who's pregnant. I had her with me, and we had the best night. It was awesome watching the Blues last night. Yeah, okay. After the first quarter, I thought, yeah, all right, can we hold on to this? Yeah, okay, Brisbane will come back. They're a good side. Give them credit. They are a fantastic football side, and they deserve to be in the grand final. And I hope, fingers crossed, I hope they beat Collingwood next week. And I hope to heck that if they do, because I don't want to see Collingwood joining us on 16 premierships. I want them to have that for another couple of years and we get ahead. Carlton get ahead for 17. Then we go ahead, we get 18. Then we go ahead, we get 19. Then we go ahead and we get 20. Because what's stopping us? What's stopping us? The belief is there. Voss is a brilliant coach. And what he has done for our football club this season, oh my God. Thank you, Voss. Thank you very much from every Carlton supporter. You have got this club back to where we want to be. And I'm going to say it now. The pain that we have all been feeling as Carlton supporters in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 odd years, that pain is slowly going away because we are playing football and we have got a seat at the AFL table where we deserve to be again. We are coming. So everyone, sign up again next year, be a passionate Carlton fan, because when we do this, we are going to be as happy as buggery. And thank you, Carlton Football Club, for Icon Park last night. That was amazing. Me and my brother, if he didn't come over here, I was going to be there last night at Icon Park. And, Pom, if you were there, if Terry didn't go up to the game, I was going to come and introduce myself to you two. So, can I just say some massive thank yous before you ask me any other question? Pommy, can I say a massive thank you to you for every single week, man? Every single week. I have enjoyed the last couple of weeks coming on here and having a chat to you. So thank you, Matt, for everything that you do. Thank you for getting back to me because, Matt, we've got a friendship now and I can't thank you enough for your friendship. And I cannot thank you, Matt. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Terry. Thank you to every show on Blue Abroad. This channel is one of the best AFL YouTube channels, and we've got to keep it that way because when we win a premiership, we'll look back at this and this will get dominated for the rest of our lives. And every Carlton supporter, I can tell you, everyone that I know is grateful for Blue Abroad. Every Carlton supporter that I know, thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep up the great work because you're all amazing. I cannot thank you enough.
Sorry, Toby, I love you. Honestly, mate, you don't have to thank me for your friendship, mate. The pleasure is mine, mate. It's a pleasure knowing you. And Toby, man, I'm ready to go through a brick wall. Someone build me a brick wall and let me headbutt it. I am ready, Toby. I'm ready. Jesus, I can't believe I've got to wait 5 months to run out round one. But Toby, you nailed it earlier when you said about spending time with your family and getting to know people on Blue Abroad and stuff like that. It's a real big thing, isn't it? That we've got this community now, haven't we? We've got the football team, we've got the fan base. Everything is in place now to go out there and take over the AFL, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Matt. And, you know, it's a beautiful community that we're creating because everyone, like, I loved seeing everybody, the shots of when they showed Icon Park last night. That's Carlton. That is always Carlton. And it will always be Carlton. And those of us who've done it hard, that will always be our spiritual home. It's always our home. I love, like, what I've seen in the last couple of weeks when people, you know, have gone into Lygon Street to just soak up the atmosphere. It's just been brilliant. And that's what we need. We need to soak this up because as I've said, and it's sad for me, Pommy, because I've got a couple of friends who, you know, don't back for Carlton, who are struggling at the moment. But you've got to enjoy life because you never know when it's going to be your last day. You never know. So this has been brilliant. This has been absolutely brilliant. And I've loved it every single week. I've loved watching the jumper punch because they make me cry. I've loved watching Terry because I don't know what else to say. If we could nominate that man for Australian of the Year, I would put my hand up straight away. And if anybody in the chat wants to go, here, Toby, and say, here, right now, let's start it. Because, Terry, you deserve it. You have brought people into this channel, and Carlton people, we have enjoyed it. And this is beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to come on next season. I'm going to enjoy the off season, but I'll be back better, bigger, stronger next year. And thank you to every single body, and go Blues.
Toby, I love you, mate. Mate, have a great off season. Much love to your family. Much love to yourself. I hope your sister's pregnancy goes really well as well. I can't wait to see pictures of a beautiful baby boy or girl, mate. Much love to you. You'll be a wonderful uncle, and can't wait to chat to you more next year, mate.
Thanks, Matt. First fan cam, I'll bring on a photo.
Hey, I love it, mate. Cheers, Toby. Cheers. Right, chat. Here you go. Right. Look, he used to end the regular season fan cams. Right. We've got only a bit of time left, so we'll bring him on. Right. This is an icon of this, right? If I'm a legend, this would be an icon, right? This would be an icon. This would be like a player card in FIFA. Here we go, Mr. Mark. How are you doing?
Wow, I'm actually speechless with that introduction, to be perfectly honest. But I'm grateful that we were able to have the chat, and yeah, most importantly, what a roller coaster ride of a season it's been. And look, I mean, to think of where we were 3 months ago, you know, like, to be fair, I'm more than happy to even say this out loud as well. You know, I, for one, would obviously regret the past, but of course, remember, you can't change the past. You always got to look forward to the future. And for that, look, you got to think you're always stronger together when, you know, there are things that can obviously go wrong, but at the same time, when you get a bit of tough love and push to your limits, you're always going to find a way to, rise above the hate. And look, yeah, I was disappointed, but was I angry or upset? Probably not. And to be perfectly honest, yes, we got off to the most perfect start that you could ever ask for in an interstate final. But in saying that, I always kept saying to myself, Pom, and you would agree, and everybody, and to the 95,000, near 100,000 members and supporters, global, worldwide, just all of it, right? You always knew Brisbane were going to come. If you thought for 1 second that was going to be enough, hell no. Maybe if we were 8, 9, 10 goals up going into halftime, you'll be like, okay, it's going to be hard. Could they still weather a storm? Yes, but even that would have been probably too much for them. So, look, fair play to obviously the Lions. I guess they're going to have to represent Australia again like they did 20 years ago, and I'm sure there'll be that stage where that Carlton Collingwood grand final, whether it's, I don't know, next year, the year after, the year. Look, I'm sure at some stage, whilst we're all still alive, it will happen again in our lifetime. I don't know when, but at the same time, it's also important that the steps that we've made this year, where obviously Brisbane's been a perfect example for the last 4 or 5 years, semi, prelim, now grand final. So if you thought from where we were 3 months ago that we were going to go all the way, look, of course you'd like to dare to dream, but you've got to be realistic in this world. You don't go from a solid worker to all of a sudden being in a manager position in one day, if you put it that way figuratively, right? It just doesn't happen. Honestly, I couldn't even put myself in that position. No way, regardless if you're that talented or not. But I think what these boys have obviously shown us is they've got the ruthless aggression back. That's been the campaign that I've been running with when we obviously were last successful. But most importantly, it's definitely regrouped all of us fans and supporters that we've got hope again. But again, Terry and everybody else knows this, and I'm going to keep drilling this to everybody, whether you know me or not. We can't let this year just be the year where we accept it and we never repeat this again. We've got to play finals again next year. We've got to play finals again the year after. Now, this could also mean a lot of things, right? And every team goes through a lot of stories. Let's say if we do make it next year, but we happen to go in straight sets, do we all of a sudden we're going to sack the coach and make emotional decisions? No, because it's not guaranteed that we can make a prelim again next year. But if we put in the effort and the work that we have done, but get our, management right throughout the season, like, for example, 2022, first half of the season, we're on fire. This year, we've had to do it in reverse. So in order to make the top 4, let alone top 2 next season, I see it as like this. If you say in a month or month and a half span, you win 4 or 5, lose 1, you do that for the course of the remainder of the year, you end up out of your 23 games, 19-4, 18-5 record, you take that. Or 17-6, but managing the team properly. We don't want to have to go through another phase of big runs, massive fall away, or again like this year. First month was okay. Going into gather round was big, but back to reality. But then, of course, the unthinkable. So in saying all that, it's just important that as a club and to everyone watching, we know this ain't over. But I honestly think realistically, as much as you want to believe, could we win it next year? We can. But I still think we're at least another 2-3 years away, honestly and prospectively. So we've got the runs on the board.
Mate, you've got to look at it. I think you nailed it. There was always an inevitability that Brisbane would come back after that first quarter. They had to.
Hell yeah.
If Brisbane folded over, they'd probably sack Fagan at half-time. But, I mean, you look at Brisbane's run in finals since 2019. 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, 3 wins, 2 wins. Now a grand final. I think they won that game because they've been there 4 times and failed. You could see that they knew this game's not over. We dig deep. We bully Carlton. We tell Carlton we've been here before. And ultimately, when you're top 4, you get a week's break. We haven't had that. We look knackered. They took advantage and they did your ruthless aggression on us. That second quarter was ruthless. They looked to destroy us and hurt us. So we've got to learn. We've got to learn. And I think you nailed it. We can't have a good start, shit end. We can't have a shit start, good end. We've got to find that happy balance, like Brisbane, like Geelong last year, where you can conserve and make sure you're always in control. We don't want to keep chasing shit. We want to be leading shit.
Well, even Collingwood to an extent. I mean, at round 16, 17, 18, we're pretty much unbeatable. Then, funny enough, by us beating them, they had a little bit of a slump, but they were still in top spot by some comfortable margin. And really, we're never going to lose top spot, or what at worst, they were going to finish second. Top two, it's your done deal there. So it's just important now that we have obviously a big preseason again. For Akers to play on one arm. Doherty, to be fair, if the Australian Army was going through a potential World War III, World War IV, you can't kill the bloke. Honestly, banged up shoulder, testicular cancer, ACL, what's next? You can actually take his heart out and he's still got another heart there. So, I mean, but look, it's amazing how these guys, for once, and you can put this for the jumper punch, almost Blues Brothers and everybody else, where we've actually put winning first for once than the players' welfare. Now, I mean, it's one thing to obviously have that balance of your welfare and then to win, but you could tell that these guys were going to do whatever it took, even if they looked buggered, where in years past, for example, a little knock to the head or, a little glance touch to the arm, I'd give up. No, of course not. They didn't this time. But again, as I've said earlier on the show, let's not just make this year some form of flash in the pan, all right? Because you don't want to have from after 2001, an 8-year wait for finals from 09, got to 10, 11, missed in 12, cashed in on 13 due to what happened with Essendon. And, of course, thank that club again because they actually woke us up for the run that we had in the second half of the year, but we had to wait 10 years. So let's not wait another 10, 12 years. I want to be playing finals for 10 years bloody straight. Look at what Geelong have done. Brian Cook has seen this day in, day out, year in, year out. Why do you think they've only just missed out on finals twice in the past year? And, whilst I'm at it, I think Geelong will be back up there again next year. Why? Because it's in their DNA. And now with what, Brian Cook and Michael Voss have got together, that's got to be our plan. For the rest of these 20 years, till we then go from there, you must play finals every year. There's no ifs, no buts, You just got to play finals each and every year to always contend and give yourself the best chance to obviously go for the ultimate success, If I go through all the sports that I've played, especially with my famous indoor footy of Centimetre Perfect, we had to lose the first two in order to then go back to back, That's just an example. That's just an example of one way to. You got to have the pain first for the gain, but in other sense, you could have the gain first and then it's the other way around. But life throws a lot of mysterious things. But in reality, you get hit down first, but then you rise back up after.
Mark, round one, we're against Richmond again. We're kind of two ships in a night now. They've had their time. It looks like we're going towards our prime years. What is your expectation in that round one? If Carlton come out and beat them by 40, will that tell you these boys now have got that killer instinct? They're probably the one thing missing.
Yeah, I'd say so, because you think of all the years where Richmond were really dominant. It's funny that they never really belted us, really. If you think of all those 10, 11, 12 games they had on us, probably after that elimination final of 2013, they only had, I think, one result that was really a 43. You go back to when we played finals from 09, 10, 11, and even at to 13, we belted them by 10 goals, 14, 15 goals, 100 points. They were actually getting to the point where they were going to kick out Richmond from the round one fixture on us. They were going to try and do that to us because we couldn't beat them. But the thing is, we were never really out of them, but at the same time not in them, but we were never belted. So if you look at where we are now to a Richmond, you think we should be doing it, but now it's a matter of, are we that hungry enough, to rise above the hate from last round of 2022 to get to where we are this year. Look, it was great because honestly, at that halfway point, you thought that, yep, what happened in the last round has gotten to us. Well, basically it hasn't, because we've gotten this deep into the season. Now it's a matter of how hungry are we? And I think we can get them and do it well, but it's up to here. Always needs to be.
Mark, what a way to end. I'm ready. Let's go to round one. Mark, thank you so much, mate. Enjoy your off-season. Cheer hard. I'm sure we'll see you back on fan cams round one, celebrating a 50-point win. But cheers, Mark. Much love, mate.
No, cheers again. And just lastly, before we obviously get to the Almost Blues Brothers, no, look, thanks again. I mean, I tried to reach out. I needed to obviously find myself again. But look, at the end of the day, man, it was just because the emotions had really gone through all of us. But remember this, we can always be better, and we'll always be better because we are stronger together. So for that, bring on 2024. We'll be there.
Love you, Mark. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Right. I suppose I better do this donation. Jeez, I'm about to fucking start crying. But me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing. Tell you what, you don't often get Michael Bublé on this show. 31 donation from Mr. Oh, I've totally fucked that up. It's not even Mr. Jones. Mr. Mojo Risen, 69. Feel like I've been scammed for $31. There's a lot of banter in there. Top 4 is what we need in 24. Great work by all the Blue Borough family. I want to see success for all the younger generations. Thank you very much for your donation. You are a king. And to end the night, before we swift transition into their show, I've got a very special guest. And we've seen a lot of mustaches on this show. Terry just sets it up to take the piss that puberty didn't privilege me in that. The Italian version of a pom, Joe Adamo.
I've been told a couple of times, especially over the weekend, that I'm the Italian mustache version of Cade Simpson, which I think you started as well, Pom, a little while back. So I do appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, so, some of the nicknames do stick. At least you got absolutely. A good one that stuck.
Yeah, I think it is here to stay. I was contemplating a beard earlier in the week, but it's become my thing, I think. So yeah, we'll keep it. But how are you, mate? What's been happening in your world the last 24 hours since the end of that game?
I think I had my Nostradamus philosophical moment yesterday when I said there's no such thing as a defeat if you learn from it, because then it just becomes a lesson. I've been a bit sentimental, to be honest, Joe. I feel like for the first time ever, I'm doing a postseason review, and I actually believe the shit I'm saying. I actually believe they're a good side. It's not hope anymore. I can actually touch it. It's malleable.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, eh? And I don't think a lot of us are actually too upset nor disappointed. I think we're just sad that that this ride that we've been on, especially since, halfway through the season, that it's over. Like that was, I'll take a line from your book, Pom. That's the most fun you can have with your pants on, mate. Like honestly, that is what we've been able to experience and witness in the last, especially 3 months, is just amazing. But it just made it even more so considering where we came from, and that's bloody special, mate. It brought 90,000 of us together. That's what this, I think, for the first time, a reflection that I've had, and we'll talk about it on the show in a minute. We're starting at 8:00, but a reflection I've had in the last 24 hours is, I think as a generation, we haven't felt how special it can be, and how uniting it can actually be for so many of us. And you meet so many different people, and some of the, I'm getting good. I'm getting there. This is almost going to get me, but some of the memories from those sirens at the end of the end of the semi-final and elimination final, where you're hugging and kissing random strangers and crying with people that you've never met in your life. Like, it's not something as a generation of Carlton supporters, for me and for a few others that are my age in particular, have ever experienced. And like, I said last week, if the semi-final is as good as it gets, at least we've now got that, because that is genuinely something that we can finally hang our hat on for forever, to say that we were there and we experienced that together. So, hey, those script writers, they're not finished, man. This script's still being written. This story, this continues next year, and beyond.
I think you nailed it, Joe. I mean, I'd love your opinion. I love chats. I sometimes found, particularly over the last 2 years, some of the older Carlton people, I used to fucking hate them. And I don't mean this nastily, but when they'd talk about 95, I was like, the best I've ever seen is beating Essendon round 14. The fuck are you on about?
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
But it's nice to feel like we've all been equalised and we can all actually see Carlton being a good side.
Yeah, it is. It's true, and it finally brought generations of supporters together, and we that elusive 17 is still there. And I'm sure when that day comes, that's just going to be a whole other level. But 2023, this will forever be a year that I think a lot of us, for years to come, will be able to look back on and say, that was the year. That's when it all shifted, and we waited so long. Generations of us waited so long to see and to experience a football team that we can be proud of and trust in. And like you said, we do this week in, week out, and I'm with you, Pom. The last 2 years, we've had to say shit at the end of the season that we genuinely probably don't even believe, to be fair. We don't. But, you've got to keep that faith. Now we can genuinely say that I think going into next year and beyond, that we are full of confidence with where this club's going for once. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Joe, mate, I love riding this battle with you and everyone in chat. It's been one hell of a fucking ride. Can't wait to go to war again, round one, and upset people. But make sure you flick over, because straight after this, it's almost Blues Brothers, so you get to have a yearly fap with them. But Joe, love you, mate. I'll let you go and get ready. We'll wrap this up, and let's hope next season isn't so fucking intense like my first time seeing a naked woman.
Agree. Let's make it a little bit easier on the heart next year. Well done, Pom. You've done brilliantly again tonight, mate. And to everyone in the chat, we will see you in the stream in about 2 minutes.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. See
Thanks,
you
guys.
in round one.